Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. We're coming to you live on my lunch. Anything can happen right now. We're going window down. Not often do we do the videos with windows down, but it's freaking hot today. Anything can happen. We could have somebody walk by and just heckle, I guess you can say, or some bird could randomly fly by and poop on me during the video. I don't know. Topic of the day is Christian leaving the WWE. It seems like that's the cool thing to do now, is put your name out there as that guy who's going to be taking off and leaving. You know, CM Punk was the first guy to take off. We're on like day 14 of the CM Punk hostage situation. News broke of Alberto Del Rio. I apologize. You know, he's unhappy. He's thinking of taking off. When his contract ends, where he goes, I got no clue. He's got nothing to, he just doesn't really have any options that are out there. I mean, are you going to be the first guy who jumps on with Jarrett and Toby Keith, hoping that there's something behind them? You know, taking your ball to TNA doesn't really make much sense if you're Alberto Del Rio. So more than likely, maybe just say you're unhappy. Maybe you can get something out of it and put your name on the dotted line where it deserves. I'm a guy who doesn't want to see Del Rio leave. He's done some boring stuff, but I think he's better off for the WWE. I think that he has good matches, and sometimes just the situations they put him in, aren't that great, and he's been able to shine through. But the new guy now is Christian Cage, saying that he's getting up there in age, and WWE really isn't letting him do anything. He had to sit on the sidelines for a real long time. Honestly, in my opinion, he is a guy that honestly could take his ball to TNA, and not that he's going to be a real difference maker, but he's a guy that could fill that Legends role. Let's face it, WWE is sort of snatching up a lot of TNA's talent these days, and TNA really doesn't have the money to pay him at the same time. In the last little while, the rumors have been running strong that Hogan, Angle, Sting, is there anybody else? I mean, they've all come over from TNA because TNA's cost-cutting measures. They're going to need some sort of an older guy in the locker room, maybe for to build stuff around and just for locker room morale. And I think that honestly, Christian was that first real big name that TNA was able to sign from WWE that honestly really mattered. It's not like he really put their name on the map, but he gave them that real recognition that that there are guys that are crossing the line to say they're gonna have an impact in what they do over there. After him came AJ Styles. No, I apologize. After him came Kurt Angle, and then came Booker T and all those other guys. But him winning the title and then really, taking it to the new ranks. And then once Angle came over, having somebody for Angle to fight with, was a real big thing. But honestly, if you really look at once he came back, he left TNA because he had sort of done everything there, and the writing was on the wall that, TNA sort of belonged to Kurt Angle, and he wasn't going to be the guy. They already had Angle, they already had Sting, and Christian was just sort of going to be that third name that was on the list over there. And he sort of, had made himself into, the biggest star that he could over there. He won the championship so many times that he felt like the water was right to jump back to WWE, and maybe WWE would give him something, other than what he'd been doing before he left there, because he had sort of, proved that he could be a bigger star and take on that role. Once he got there, I mean, honestly, he was the ECW champion. You could say that's worth what, whatever it is. And then when ECW closed down, it seems like, there really wasn't anything in the plans for him. And then the Edge injury came in 2011, and he filled in, and he had a hell of a run with Orton, where they dropped the title back to each other a few times. And you can say that when Christian was champion, there really wasn't a whole bunch, behind it, because one of the times, he got it from, Orton kicking him in the nuts in a disqualification, and the title changed due to the pre-match stipulation that, Christian said it was an unsafe workplace because Orton was at a snap, so they put that in there, and he goaded him to kicking him in the balls, and the championship was his, and they went back and forth. They had one hell of a match that was hard to top at SummerSlam 2011, but then again, Christian got injured. He was on the sideline again, and it's hard to, get that ball started when it keeps falling off track. And I mean, when you look at, WWE, Christian and Rey Mysterio are two of the guys that, just get hurt all the time. going to TNA would be the perfect, workplace for him. Honestly, you work a few house shows here and then, but, at the most part, you're only working 2 days, a month with a sporadic pay-per-view in there. At the tops, maybe you're working 5-6 times a month. You're making, decent money. I'm sure he's a guy that saved his money from WWE, over the years, and a lot of these guys probably have, and having that slower workplace would help him out. He could do the sporadic, autograph signing shows here or there. I don't really see Christian as a guy working the independents, coming to BTW, WrestleFest, or anything like that. But yeah, you never know. I mean, let him go off and off into the sunset the way it's supposed to. WWE honestly really isn't giving him anything to really work with out there. So I'm all for it. Hey, head on down there to TNA, take your place in the TNA Hall of Fame, become that leader of the locker room, and the guy that is going to be that Sting role. You think that Angle would take that over, but Angle's leaving as well. So, hey, I'm all for it. Christian Cage, TNA, thumbs up, baby.